Hey, and welcome back to my channel. How's everybody doing? Today's video, we're going to be talking about lips and brows and how to get that magnificent arch in both. So if you're interested in that, then let's get started. Okay, so how's everybody doing? I already sort of prepped my face. I did my serum to begin with, and then I did a tinted moisturizer that I normally do, and that is all that I have done so far. So I want to, normally in my next step, I do brows. The two products that I'm going to be using today is Anastasia Beverly Hills and also Benefit Brow Bar. So two things between these two products. These are my most two favorite products to use for my brows. So the difference in the two, Benefit Brow, they tend to, it's more of a waxier base, waterproof. It is more on a taupier color scheme range, ashy, unless you get into, they're starting to add more colors in between. Some are their normal numbers, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 are on the ashy side, and they're starting to get into like 2.5, 2.75, 2.25 for like reds and blondes, and adding a little bit more color into it. So I've ventured a little bit on that. It doesn't match me very well. So normally I stick between a 2 and a 3. The other product that I'm going to be using is the Anastasia Beverly Hills, and this is their Brow Wiz. And typically, now on theirs is not waterproof, but it stays on magnificently. And all you have to do is put a brow wax on it and it's going to stay. Typically I go between a taupe, a light brown, or a chocolate. Their chocolate is a little bit on the red side. It does have some red in it, obviously, for chocolate. I've been going mainly on light brown, and even light brown is a little dark for me depending on how you use it. So what I'm going to show you today is with both of these products, and typically I use either one or the other, only just because that's the way it is. I just do that. I keep one in my purse, so I just use one product. But today I'm going to show you how to use two. And so let's get started with that. So I'm going to use the number 2, actually. The number 2, and this is their Precisely My Brow Pencil. And you always want to comb your eyebrows. And I do mine up so that I can see what I'm working with. And then I take the other side and I go draw. So you can see I have sort of an arch, only because I've trained it to do that. I've been doing waxing for a long time, and I've sort of mapped my eyebrow to be in an arch. I have a hooded eye, and it opens my eye a lot more. So I'm just going to draw, and actually during COVID, my eyebrows have gotten like wider in between here. So I've only gotten them waxed probably 6 months ago, maybe 6 months ago. So I draw up, and then I hit that arch at the top. And even if you don't have any hair up there, it's okay. Just go ahead and draw it up there. So you can see how it's starting to come out. And then I'm going to take my chocolate for some definition. And I'm going to draw in between. And this is like no rhyme or reason. It's just putting it on there. You can go backwards, you can go forwards. It doesn't matter. Just put it on there. And again, in that arch and down. Same on the bottom. If you have hair here, you don't have to always draw every hair, put color on every single hair. I need to get that waxed right there. I pick with a tweezer every now and again when I see fit. It just there's no rhyme or reason to it. I just do it every now and again. And I'm just like, huh, there's a lot of hair there. Let me get rid of some. Boink, there it is. Okay. So you can see how dark that's coming out. But you can see that arch. Ooh. All right, same on the other side. And again, my eyebrows are not identical for any means. This is straighter in through here. It's straighter, it's, I don't have any tint on my eyebrows right now at all. And again, do that arch at the top, even if you don't have any hair there, and down. Now, my tails don't tend to have a lot of hair there. All right, then I'm gonna take my chocolate again and fill. And I'm gonna draw that straight there on the edge. And that'll be buffed out, trust me. Okay. And then there's your tail again. I really like the chocolate with blonde hair. I think it's a great combination. But see how dark that is? It's still even dark for my skin, and I even have a tan. So. All right, so you can see that tail is forthcoming. All right, now take the other ear, your bristle, whatever, and smooth that out to where it's not as dark. You've got your product on there on your eyebrow, but you're not wiping it off. You're kind of spreading it over your skin and giving it that soft brushed look. And my brows really need to be plucked or waxed terribly. All right. Now you can see that it's not so asymmetrical there. I mean, it is asymmetrical. It's not identical. So I always eyeball it and go back and try to figure it out to see if it's a little close. And if you need to wipe it off, wipe it off. All right. Then you can take a concealer, and I'm gonna take, normally I use the Nars, I'm looking for my brush. Oh, here it is, okay. This happens to also be an ABH brush, and it's one of like their travel brushes. But you can either, and this concealer is actually like down to the nub, but this is the Nars Creamy Concealer. And the shade that I use is Vanilla. I don't do this every time I do my brows, but if you want that crisp, I just do a dab, a little bit there, and then take your brush and you can sharpen that angle. Get it up in that crease. I mean the arch, not the crease, the arch. And then I always go back in with just my finger and I dab to make it look more natural. And you can see that hair that I don't have covered in a color, especially like right in there. It's terrible. I gotta get waxed. And like I said, you can buff down with your brush, clean up the hairs in the front, and then dab with my finger to make it more natural. Boom, there you are. Now, if you need to go back again with your bristle, your brush, then do that. And if you cover up your brow with your concealer, just go back on the other end and draw it again. And it'll be still even sharp that way. Okay, so that doesn't look too bad. All right, now, I'm gonna go very simple today for my eyes, but I'm gonna be using the Jaclyn Hill Morphe palette just because I like these colors. These are the colors that I typically, her lighter colors right in through here. Well, the first 2 rows is what I normally deal with, as well as the black and the browns in that corner. But I love this palette. So I'm gonna take like a concealer brush, and I'm gonna go, what am I gonna do? I'm gonna do this guy right here. This is the second one in. And I'm just gonna go all over my eye with that. Now see, you can, I'm not doing a drastic eye today, so I'm just gonna put this all over. And honestly, I think your brows are more important than your eyeshadow, because your brows frame your shape. Frame your shape. Frame the shape of your eyes. Your face. Your face. All right. There you go. All right, and then I'm gonna take a tapered brush. Actually, let me use a clean one. Let me find a clean one here. All right, let's use this one. Wow, that one was really dark. This is a Pro Crease number 10, and it's a Sephora brush. And then I'm just gonna take a little bit of tan. Let's do this guy, the third one in. And just a little bit on that outer corner. And just beating it in there. Now again, I have hooded eyes, so I have to like really get in that crease for it to show anything. And you could go darker and that will show more as well. I just want a really light look today. And if you go too high, just go back in with your color again and redo that framework. So that is all I'm gonna do on my eyes today, basically. I mean, as far as eyeshadow. It's kind of like in there. I'm not doing like a 3-dimensional. Okay, that's it for my shadow, plain and simple. For an eyeliner, I'm gonna go in with a brown today, and this is Corrupt, and it is from Urban Decay, their Glide On Eye Pencil 24/7. Always sharpen your pencils before you do it, but this one actually has a point on it. Outer corner only. There you go. Simple. Now I have lash extensions, so I'm just going to brush them up. I have some bronzer left on a brush, so I'm just gonna plug that in a little bit. Plain and simple. Buff it out. All right, brow wax. If you don't have a lot of, if you have a lot of hair or misplaced hair, or you haven't gotten your brows waxed or whatever, Anastasia Beverly Hills also has a brow wax. Now I use the disposable wands for mascara, and their brow freeze is clear. They also have a stick that you can use that's like a mascara kind of thing that has a wand, and I just brush, and then it's going to stay. All right, a little bit, little dab, you don't need a whole lot. All right, so I'm not gonna put any blush or highlight on today or anything like that. I'm just gonna spray my face. I'm gonna be using the MAC Fix Plus. And I always try to do that. I always do my makeup before I get dressed normally, but not when I film. So I'm holding my face a little bit so that it doesn't like trickle down onto my shirt. All right, then I always take a beauty blender, any kind, and just buff that into my face. It gives it a more smooth look, in my opinion. And it's pressed against your, whatever it is that you put on your face, and it stays. If you need to do it twice, do it twice. All right, lips. I'm gonna be using, I've been trying these out this week with the Jaclyn Hill lip liners because they're so creamy that you can use these actually as a lipstick. So that's what I'm doing. Today I'm gonna be using the color Cupcake. Cupcake. All right. Brand new, out of the box. When you're doing your lips, I have a piece of fuzz there. There we go. All right, so when you're doing your lips, you want to, my lips are a little crusty right now. They've got some, I need to exfoliate. But, oh God, let me get that off. Don't you hate that? It's like that little piece of skin. All right, it's gonna fudge up your lipstick. All right, so when you do your lips, you wanna do under, on or below that underneath line. These are so creamy. Oh, they're so creamy. And then on your arch, less here, more at the top. And no, your lips are not always identical on both sides either. Your face is not identical on both sides. So get over it. Did I just make that bleed? Son of a gun. Pale pink. But can you see how it defines that bottom luxurious lip dimple right there? All right, and then I'm just gonna see how creamy they are. That's a gorgeous color. All right, now I know as a fact that this side is different from this side. This side always needs more help. So I accentuate that Cupid's bow on that side a lot more than I do on the other side, because when I do this side, then you always have to lift that one up more. And you can create this even when you don't have a great Cupid's bow. Just draw it on there. And trust me, it will look just fine. With everything takes practice. I made it bleed, son of a gun. Oh, you're gonna have to overlook that. Okay. Then if you want to accentuate your Cupid's bow even more for that voluptuous look, then you can always take a highlighter. And again, this one is my most favorite ever in the world, and this is Jaclyn Hill. This one is Extra, and it's her loose pigmented highlighter. I always highlight my nose and rub that in, or buff it in with my finger. I do the insides of my eyes to make my eyes pop, and then take this and just slowly V it right in the top of that Cupid's bow. There you go. And then you can buff it in if you want. Love it. I love this color. And if you're not wearing a frost underneath, you can always take this as well and do it up under your brow. And you can still do it even when you have a frost, because it just accentuates. I mean, because no frost is going to be like a highlighter. There you go. So it's a little bit whiter at the top, and then you can better see that V in the arch of your eyebrow. So there it is. I didn't do any highlighting or anything on my cheeks today. I could have, I have a brush that I normally use. I won't dip it, but I'll just go ahead and add a little bit more. So you can see a little bit of highlight there, but not bling bling. You'll be able to see it when you go out in the sun. So there you have it. There is my look for today. It's a Saturday. It's a go out and do errands day. But so this is my final look for today. I hope that gave you some tips and tricks on how to arch your brow, get that opened eye look, especially for hooded eyes, and for your lips. Lips are important too. Your brows and your lips. Everything else is everything else is a mush. So that's that. But you can see. And if you need to go back and touch up again, you know, let me make sure I have my chocolate. I do. If you need to go back in and, oh, this tail is longer than this tail, go back in and do it. It's okay. I do that so many times when I'm getting ready to go out the door. And it's like, oh my gosh, that looks terrible. It's in different lighting. And you go back and you just fix it. So I've trained my hair and waxed and gotten it, you know, my eyes used to be, I mean, my hair used to grow like way down in here. So, you know, you can wax up there. Even if you don't have hair up here, get that arch and bring it down. And it does totally help. So same with your Cupid's bow. Just make sure that you get that voluptuous Cupid's bow. And it definitely makes a difference, especially with the highlighter on there as well. And I'll link everything down below on everything that I used. There's no affiliates or anything. This is just me. I'm just me. So yeah, that's it. And I will see you on the next one. Thanks so much, and God bless. And we're done. Let's go.